Coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.
Well, we're back, and as you can see, we have a guest today. And I think you probably have seen this face someplace before. It's Gabby Hayes. Well, it is Gabby Hayes. It's Gabby Hayes Jr. And he does look somewhat like his father, and of course Gabby has done a lot of movie work in his own right. Have you done anything lately, Gabby?
No, not lately, but I am at the end of this month.
At the end of this month? Well, that's good. What, movie or commercial?
Yes, TV movie.
TV movie. Well, that's good. Gabby's going to help me cook up some special food today. This happens to be the Cinco de Mayo's weekend. And, of course, that's a pretty important holiday here in the Southwest,
Yeah,
because that, you know, that's the independence.
Yeah, Mexican independence.
Yeah. And they really go for that here in the Southwest. So today what we're going to do is cook you up Mexican food. Border Mexican food. And what we're going to cook up is enchiladas and guacamole.
Oh, wow.
And I think that everybody will get kind of a kick out of seeing what kind of spices we're going to be using and what type of chilies we're going to be using.
See, you got a bunch of chilies.
Yeah, I do here. I was going to
What do they
explain.
call those?
Well, I was going to explain a little bit about these different chilies to the audience out there. Now, this happens to be an Anaheim chili here.
Anaheim.
Anaheim. That comes from Anaheim, California, originally. Of course, most of them all came from Mexico or New Mexico at one time, but these are called Anaheim. They were introduced into to Southern California. I think it was the latter part of the last century, and these are a mild chili, and these are an Ortega. Now, old man Ortega introduced these into Southern California.
Ortega, the chili salsa, and
Same name, yes.
Is that right?
That's correct. Now let's go into some of these other chilies here before we start making the Mexican food. Here we have the Güero, or blonde chili. Now this is kind of a medium chili, and would be used that probably in our salsas and that type of thing. Now we get over here to let's get over here to really the hot ones. Look at those.
that's the one that gets your attention.
That'll get your attention. These are jalapeno peppers. And, of course, we use these more for a, spicing up our salsas, and when we want to make something hot. This is what we use here. And these are the jalapenos. Now, we have another one here. These are the cayennes. These are the cayennes, and these are the kind of chili peppers that, the long cayennes they call them, and they use these making up some of the red hot spices, you know, some of the ones you get in the little bottles, you know, the little hot spices, different names for them, of course. And it's a very hot chili. Now this one is the same as this one.
They're mild then.
That's correct, but it's the same chili. It's
That's dry.
That's correct.
Okay.
These are dried chilies. And these, of course, are the raw chilies that have just come off of the vine. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to use the raw chilies. We're going to use the dried chilies, and we're going to cook up a batch of enchilada sauce. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to have to find some chilies here, and you and I are going to pull the stems off. Pull the stems off of those two there, will you? And I've got some more running around here someplace. Hold on. Here we go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you go about doing this. First thing we're going to do is build the enchilada sauce. And we're going to need about a half a dozen of these. We're going to make a half a batch today, so we're not going to make a big batch. And what we're going to do is take some of these, and we're going to take the stems off. Just take the stems off of them right there. All right. And we're going to take these, and we're going to put them into, we're going to take these and put these into boiling water. Now, these seeds that you see are the hot part of the chilies, and the veins that are on the inside. Now I'm going to show you how to go about pulling the veins and the seeds off. Now, these would go into a boiling water. Cook them about 5 minutes, so maybe 10 minutes at the most, and then they're going to become soft again.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do this with them. I'm going to put these over out of the way. Let me find these other ones. Here they are. I've already cooked these up. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do with these, as you can see, these are cooked up. And what we do with these is we open them up like this.
Oh, I see
And
the
see
veins in there.
the
Yeah.
veins in there?
Yeah.
That's the hot part. We're going to take those out.
I hope so.
Take those out, okay? And the seeds. And we're going to lay those there. And why don't you do one of those there? You might as well, your hands are going to start burning in a minute probably. Now we'll take those, just kind of pop them open like that. All right. And out comes the vein. There we go. Out comes the vein and the seeds. Take the seeds out. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you why you took the seed out.
Well, that's why, because that's the
Yeah.
hot part.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and
I
start
got all
getting...
this vein
You
yet,
got it yet?
Lord. Yeah.
All right.
We're going to have to do it.
Oh boy, I knew we couldn't get by without him doing that. Huh? Imitating your daddy still, huh?
Well,
I know, I would too.
I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah, I'd do that too. Okay, let's see here now. I'm going to put the rest of these out of the way. Now what we have is 6 of these. And I'm going to put these down here, out of the way. You got that one
I'm
ready?
still getting that gum veins out of here. I don't want to get burnt up.
Oh, these not that hot. My gosh, you've been around Mexican food enough. You're not worried about that, are you? I want to get that out of here. Now, so this is what we end up with here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this into a blender. And to that, we're going to add some spices. I know we've got some. Here, there we go. And why don't you give me some of these spices here, and I'm going to see those spices right here? No, right there in front of you there. And I'm going to explain some of these spices for you. We're going to use oregano, comino, and cilantro. Give me that little one right there. Okay. Now, cilantro, let me have this one here. This happens to be, you can buy these in the store that come this way. This happens to be the fresh cilantro right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put in a teaspoon of cilantro. If we use this, we'll chop it up. If we use this, a teaspoon of cilantro into the enchilada mix. All right, we're going to put in the comino or cumin. If you're English, it's cumin. If you're Spanish, it's camino. We're going to put in 2 teaspoons of the comino or cumin.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Write that down now. And oregano or oregano. English is oregano, oregano if it's Spanish. And we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of that. All right?
Right.
Now, the obscene spice, you know, MSG. If you use it, fine. If you don't, leave it out. And that's all the spices that we're going to put into the enchilada sauce today. If you could throw in a little bit of garlic if you wanted to. But today, that's what we're going to put into our enchilada sauce. What we're going to do now is we're going to put this into the blender. We're going to put our spices in. We're going to blenderize it. And we'll end up with a puree. And so we'll be back in about 1 minute, and we're going to show you how to put the rest of this together, so don't go away. So what we'll do is, why don't you reach. Well, we're back, and we've gotten the puree done now. Gabby, give me the blender over there.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Let's cut all this bologna.
All right.
And let's get down to some serious.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. You weren't going to shoot these enchiladas, were you? Get rid of the gun belt there.
That depends on what they taste like.
All right. Get rid of the gun belt, and if you'll give me the puree that we made up over there, don't drop it now. There we go. That's okay. You got it. Now what we have here, I'll let you have this and get rid of that now. I don't need that. Now what we have is the puree that we made up, and we're going to put it into the pan now and get it ready to put our tortillas into. If you'll give me a little bit of oil there,
Got it.
just a little bit. Now this happens to be the oil that I use most of the time. You know, this is the oil that we use for the other programs. Now if you'll give me a little bit of give me a little bit of the flour over there. And if you'll go get me that mixing spoon over there in that lower, see that lower, give me the spoon down there. There we go. Okay, thank you. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of this masa flour. Now masa is what? You know what masa is?
Ground stone. It's stone ground, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a corn flour. And we're going to make up a little bit of thickening here. And I'm going to make what's called a masa roux.
Oh, what?
A masa roux.
Isn't that what the things in Australia are called?
No, that's Japanese boats. You haven't been watching my program, you know, here. So anyhow, we're going to put a little bit of, make some thickening right here. And now what we're going to do is to put in the puree. We're going to put in the puree, and if I can get my director out there to get me a little bit of water. We're going to need a little water here in just a second. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? We better get our, look at that. We better get our, whew, that's hot.
I think we ought to put our aprons on.
Get those aprons. Get those aprons. We're going to be swimming in enchilada sauce. There we go. All right. Now we'll be safe. I think we had the fire too hot, don't you? That's going to make it pretty good, though. That won't hurt it one bit, the fire being that hot. Now let me get that back over here, and we're going to get that. Oh, that's almost too thick. We're going to have to add just a little bit of water, or there we go. Thank you, my senor. Just a little bit of water in there. There we go.
You speak like a native, don't you?
Or we could have used some little cerveza.
Oh.
You know,
some
cerveza.
beer.
Yeah, a little beer would have been better, really. Okay, there we go. Now we've got it thinned down. All right, now what we have to do, I'm going to let this simmer for just a little bit now. Now remember that this is not really cooked yet. Now you can get rid of that, I think. Whoop, wait a minute, we got a little bit left there. There we go. Now you can get rid of that for me.
All right.
Over there. And we're going to let this simmer for just a little bit. Now what we're going to do is get into the making of the enchiladas. But first of all, we have to do something to the tortillas.
Okay.
You want to give me some more oil here? There we go. And we're going to need some tortillas. You want to open up that package of tortillas there for me? Yeah, we've got this one plenty hot here. Well, this one's beginning to boil up on us here, too. And, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to simmer this for a little while we're doing this, you know, the limping. Now, what we're going to do is what's called limping. You know what limping is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Well, have you ever tried rolling one of these? You'd go try to roll that thing, and it won't stay. You see? Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it over here into the hot oil, like this. We're going to leave it about 2 seconds or so. We're going to turn it over.
Now, what happens if you leave it too long?
Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. And when we get around to making up the enchiladas here, I'm going to show you exactly what happens. I'm going to make up 2 or 3 of them here. We'll limp some of these. And of course, if you're making tacos, you'd do the same thing. Only you would cook them longer, you know, and they would become a little more crisp.
Crisper, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is we're just limping these tortillas. Oh, 2 or 3 seconds on each side. I'll do one more.
Well, you just answered my question.
All right. What was your question? I forgot.
Well, so I left it in too long.
Oh, all right. We're going to leave one in right now. Let me do this. Get this one out, and then I'm going to put one in, and I'm just going to leave it in there for you. I'll turn that fire up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Now we can get rid of these for the time being here. And what we have now is we've limped the tortillas. And we now can work them. As you can see, look here.
Yeah.
Now see, now we can do what we want to with them. We can roll them and they'll stay. Before, they wouldn't do that. Now that's why you limp the tortillas.
All
and of
right.
course, I like to use the old brown paper sacks, you know.
I was wondering why you had it instead of a
really,
towel or something.
well, it's real absorbent, of course.
Yeah.
And it's better than just throwing them, your
Okay.
brown paper sacks away or
Makes sense.
putting the garbage in them or something like
Makes
that.
sense.
And it's cheaper this way. You already have them anyhow.
Well, true.
So anyhow, what we've done now, I need some plates. Do you have any plates back
Yeah,
there?
we got some.
Why don't you get some plates for me? All right, and we're going to need some cheese, queso,
Got it right here.
and we're going to need some onion. Yo, you've already got the onion. Okay, let's take one at a time here, and let's see if this is going to be hot enough.
Bill?
Yes.
One question.
Okay.
How come the Indians are so fine?
Well, you know, if you're anything like me, you sure don't want to bite into a piece of onion that's as big as your thumb. You may want to do some smooching tonight or something with your wife or your girlfriend, see?
Or somebody else's.
Gabby, you wouldn't do that, would you?
Not unless I can get away with it.
That's what I figured. All right. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to show you what happens when you leave them in there too long. You can watch now. It's getting kind of hot there. Let's get these enchiladas made up here. I'll make up a couple of them here. Let me get this up here.
You got a little meat that goes in?
Yeah, we had a little bit of meat here someplace. I tell you what, we'll make up one with meat and one without meat. Now, what we have as far as the meat is concerned is this is one of the types of meats that we had done before, you know, when we did up the tacos. So this is kind of like taco meat. Nothing fancy, just a few spices.
That isn't called chorizo.
This is not chorizo, but you can use chorizo. I'm glad to see that you know what chorizo is. What we're going to do is I'll go ahead and make up a couple of these. Now, what we have to do now is get some sauce on that. We're going to put them right into the sauce. I'm going to turn them over like that, get sauce on both sides. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do, come over here. I'm going to put some onion right down the middle.
My mouth's watered already.
Do you like onions?
I like them.
All right, I'm going to give you some onions in. Now, we're going to put on some Longhorn cheese. Now, in Mexico, they use a white cheese.
Good nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind
They
of
use,
goat cheese.
yeah, it's a goat cheese. It is a goat cheese. Yeah, this guy knows more than I thought. Okay, I'm going to roll this now. I'm going to start, and I'm going to roll out. I'm going to leave the seam down. I'm going to leave the seam down. All right, I'm going to let you put this one over there, and I'll do one more here real quick. And here's what happens to this if you leave it in there too long. That's what happens.
Okay.
You can't do anything with it except make a tostado out of it, possibly a frisbee or something like that. All right, let me make one more here, and then we're going to have to take a little break here. Let me make a real quick one here. Like that. My plate. There we go. Now this is where you get your hands in it. You got to get a little bit sloppy here, you know.
Yeah.
Now this time I'll put a little meat in this one. I didn't put meat in the last one, did I?
No.
All right.
We can't all be...
Well, you want meat though, don't you?
Little,
All right,
yeah.
you got it right there. Now, I'll go ahead and roll this up, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to come back and we're going to make some guacamole. So, don't go away. Okay, you get that one over there. Well, we're coming in on the home stretch here, and we're going to have to hurry or we're not going to make it today. Today, we're going to end up with making some guacamole. So this, of course, is an avocado. They're raised in two major places in the United States. One is Florida, one is California. They don't use many they don't raise many of them here in the Southwest. What we're going to do is use the molcajete.
I was wondering what
The molcajete, and we're going to make the guacamole in the molcajete. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into pieces like this, and then I'm going to take the seed out like that. How you like that, huh? Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll cut this into like that. And let's see if I can move this out of the way for the time being. I'm going to cut these like that.
We also used those to grind corn in too, didn't they?
That's the bigger one is used for the corn.
Yeah.
These are used for spices more than anything else.
I see.
And the spices and sauces like we have here.
Uh-huh.
Now, let me get this cut like that, and then I'm going to try to
Can
peel
I
these
help
up.
you
Sure,
here?
let's have you get in on the act here. And what we want to do is just put them in there. Now, see how easy those peel?
Hey, that's easier than...
You stick your thumb in there and just peel those right off. Just like that.
Well, I'm doing this like I knew what I'm doing.
That's right. You do know what you're doing, don't you? No? Okay, now we've just about got it all in there. There's a piece there. Let's get rid of this. Now I'm going to have to have the some tomatoes over there too. I've got some tomatoes in there someplace.
Don't they grow green ones or something like that?
They
too?
sure do. The Mexicans grow a green tomato, and it's a little bitter compared to these. I couldn't find those today, so we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to chop these up real quick and put these in there. What do you need? Something to... Oh, you're going to lick your fingers here. There we go. Here.
Just like downtown.
Yeah, all right. There you go. And I'm going to chop these up. I think I'll only use one. Looks like I'm only going to need one here. Just chop these up into big pieces, and then I'm going to put them into the molcajete, and we're going to blend it all together. And I'm going to need some of those spices again. So if you can kind of get those spices together. No, don't put them right here in front. Let's just put them right there. And let me start getting this smashed up. Now what we're going to do, and my measuring spoon, you got that down there someplace? Spot that? Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to mash this up in the molcajete, like this, and I'm going to reach over here and put in the tomato, like that. I'm only going to use the one. I think the two would be too many. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to need just a little bit of onion. I need a tablespoon of onion. You got a tablespoon of onion right there?
I'll get it right quick.
There's the tablespoon right there. Why don't you put that in there for me?
How's that?
That'll do fine. And I'm going to need 1/2 teaspoon of comino. That is right there.
And that's this little?
Yeah, that's it. And let's see, I think we've got just about everything in here except the comino.
Enough?
That's it. Put it in there. That's good. Mix that up like that. All right, we've got that. Now this is not hard. See how easy this is to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing to that. Now we've got this just about done up here now. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to finish up the enchiladas. Give me one of those enchiladas down there. See if we can do this before we run out of time. And I'm going to dip up a little bit of sauce here and put it onto the enchilada like this. And what we're going to do is put the cheese on. Just a second, let me get a little more sauce here. We'll decorate the plate up. And then we're going to come back. Why don't you put that on there? We're going to put this in the oven. We're going to get this all prepared here. We're going to come back here in about a minute or so, and then you and I are going to try to eat some of this food. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Which one's got the meat in it?
I don't know. You're going to have to find your own.
Caramba, somebody stole my caballo. Don't I know you from someplace?
I'm Chili Bill, and we're doing a Man on the Range interview. And I would like for you to try some of this.
Smells like chili.
That's Chilibill's Championship Chili. You'll find that recipe and many more in If You Like It Hot. And we'll send you also, at no additional cost, a bag of Chilibill's Championship Chili Mix. And if you can't find it in town, send for it.
See?
Well, we made it. I wasn't sure that last segment, you know, we were really moving there trying to get this thing done.
Kind of hurried there a little bit, yeah.
But it looks pretty good. We've got a good-looking sauce here. What we have now, of course, is the guacamole up here. And that was kind of a quickie guacamole. You know, we did that in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Put that guacamole together.
Tastes good, too.
And, of course, our enchiladas here. Now, I don't know which one has the meat in it.
We'll fake it.
But one of them has meat and the other one doesn't. Now, normally we would serve something like possibly a Spanish rice or refried beans are always good, you know. Why don't you give it a little taste there and see?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
And here, I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this dish. You give it a try yet, or a little bit stringy there, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of stringy.
Stringy?
I want to get a little.
All right. Not bad. Get your hands out of that and eat that, Gabby. You're going to get it in your beard and everything else there. Tastes pretty good. Have one more bite of this here. You say you're going to be in got a movie coming up pretty quick? Where are you going to shoot that?
Tucson.
Old Tucson? Oh, that'll be fun. You'll have a great time down there. And you know the name of it yet?
The Devil Made a Little Town.
The who?
The Devil Made a Little Town.
Oh, I see. All right. And I think you told me it was going to be a comedy or something, didn't you?
Comedy was Carol Burnett, Tim Conway, and Don Knotts.
Well, that sounds like fun. Why don't you keep me, up to date on it? And see?
I sure will, Bill.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come down there and watch you shoot a little bit.
Well, I might just get you on it.
No, that'd be good. Folks, we want you to give this enchilada sauce a try. And all of you people of Mexican extraction, have a great Cinco de Mayo. Till then, adios.
Let's go over the limping of the tortillas one more time. The tortillas into hot oil for a second or two on each side, then take off the excess oil Add your sauce, put into the oven until your cheese is melted on top and you're ready to eat. See you next time from the 26 Bar Ranch.